Hello, welcome back. I remain Oluwafalakemi, your tutor for this module. Let's get into why we're here. Bamboo downward. The first module was bamboo upward. This is more like a reverse of it. What you require to be able to go through this module is listed right there. So let's get into the game. Flip your body and your sleeve block upside down. So you start drawing from the cap of the sleeve. You can start from either right or left. I'll be drawing 8 style lines. That's it all drawn out, and I would label each line. So starting from the very first one drawn, the one labeled one, you can decide to label A, B, C or 1, 2, 3, whichever one is fine. So we would create a gap of 3 inches, connect it to the head, cut off the excess, and tape in the second leg. It's always advisable to increase the to reinforce the edge so that it doesn't tear up. If you notice, I added a bit of extra tape at the edge, so please ensure you do that so that it doesn't tear out before you are done with your pattern and converting everything. So gap 1 done. Let's go to line 2. You cut it open, don't cut completely out, although if you cut out completely, just tape it back in place. There's really no issue with that. Tape in one leg onto your pattern paper, flip it over, create a gap of 3 inches, mark it, then connect the end of that 3-inch gap to the tip of the opening. Glue the line, cut off the excess, tape in the second leg, and you're good. So here it is, line 2 to create gap 2. So you label it, draw an arrow to show where it will face. If you notice, we said bamboo downward, meaning every of our gaps would face down. That's the whole essence. That's really the sense behind the name. For upward, if you notice, all of the gaps looked up. For this one, the gaps would look down. So please notice that the line in gap 1 actually aligned with that of the one we're closing up in 2. So note that if it's not aligning, there's an issue, maybe an issue with the folding or whatever. So you have to check it. That's the back view. Now onto line 3. You can see that one went into the crease created in gap 2. So you create a line in that gap to reach line 3. Fix in your pattern paper, tape it in. I intentionally created this. If you notice, the pattern paper I used is not long enough. But eventually you face that issue, just tape in a little more. After all, we are using pattern paper, so just tape it in and go on like everything is fine, because really it is. So the process of creating the gaps is the same all the way till the very last one. So we tape it in. Label it gap 3, draw your arrow, highlight the joining. That way you know where you're taking each of the points, each of the lines rather. So create your crease and take it to the other one. Press it down. Trim out the excess. So gap 3 done, now to 4. Extend 4 into 3. Then using the line as a guide, we cut. Create the gap, fix your pattern paper, tape in one leg. You can see that one pulled out. Create your gap, 3 inches, knock it out. Draw out your line, cut off the excess, tape in the other side like it never broke off. Label it, draw your arrow, and we're good to go to the next. Also, at times, as time goes on, you can decide not to use a particular measurement for your gaps. You can do whatever it is you want to do. After all, it's all a creative process. So whatever you feel is creative for you is what you will do. This is the last line. This is line 8. But for this one, let's just do 3 inches. If you notice, odd numbers are on one side, even numbers are on the other side. If it's not that way with what you've done, something is actually not right. So let's fold it all up. There it is, our sleeve looking like cool. That's a back view. Now let's take it, let's transfer it to fabric. Lay it on your plain fabric. You can use pattern fabric, but I would advise it not the very busy fabric, because if it's busy, all the creative process would not be visible. So whatever fabric you want to use, you can use, but I would advise not to use a very busy fabric. So you might have to manipulate your pattern and the paper a lot of times to get your perfect balance. Do it. Now let's fold it all up and get it prepared for steam pressing. I also did not state it, but I stated it in the first video. You are not to pin on the gaps, you are only to pin on the outward part, so that by the time you want to take out the pattern from the fabric, you can be able to take it out complete and easily without having to detangle everything. So that's it, ready, all pressed. Let's take out the pins. So there it is. That's it, looking all sharp. So starting from 8, you start sewing from the last one. It's not like climbing a set of stairs. You start from 1 up, maybe 1 to 50, 1 to 20, whatever the number of staircases is available there. Then when you're coming down, which is the process of sewing it, you start from the topmost to the least. So we're done with 1. This is 2. We created a line on the fold, then marked 1 centimeter from that fold. The 1 centimeter marking is the line we'll be using as a guide to sew. So that's 7 done. We go on to 6. the same process till we get to 1. So that's it, all done. Now for the end, just stitch that side down. All done and dusted. There it is. That's the pattern sitting beside it. You can see that they look alike. Of course, the pattern generated the fabric. Multitask. We create a version of bamboo downward and submit on the flip. Thank you very much. If you have questions, please leave them in the discussion section. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.